Cook it up, Ace.
Afro Nation, welcome back to AfroCast podcast. I'm your host Leo, back at you again. University started, but we're going to keep giving you that live, real talks you've been looking for. Now I've got my guest, Rufus Baker. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Hello. I'm Rufus Barker.
My bad.
But I can bake too, so it's fine. Baker is fine too.
That's a bit cringy still. Man.
Yeah, man.
Say less, bro.
Yeah, I'm 20 years old. I'm from Reading. And I'm trying to do music, so yeah, that's me.
Yeah, man's kind of like a music guy, but like, where did the music come from? Like, has it always been like a dream, or it's just something that came out recently?
Yeah, no, I used to be into football. That's what I used to do. My brothers and my family have always played music, so I've always been around music in the house.
Yeah.
So it's always been something that I've wanted to do but never thought I could, and only recently realized that maybe I could. I started out doing drumming.
Yeah.
I had drumming lessons. I had my first ever drum kit. It was my birthday. I got home from school, right? And I'm drumming on this drum kit and I'm absolutely smashing it up. We get a knock at the door and my mum answers and it's my neighbour. First 10 minutes of having this, right? And he's like, he's basically like, I'm gonna break your...
Oh, man's pissed. Man's gonna break your drum kit.
Yeah. And I was like 11 years old.
Oh, that's a scarring kind
Maybe not even, maybe younger. So within 2 weeks of getting that for my birthday, I moved it to my granddad's house and I had to play with pads on. It's just not the same. So then I had my break from music for ages, and now I'm back via the ukulele, like I was talking about. So yeah, it's good. It's good, man. It's exciting. Yeah,
that's crazy. But like, okay, so you had the drum kit, so you were kind of drumming and stuff. But have you really carried on with drumming now? It's not really like a
not
big
really.
thing anymore.
The furthest my drumming goes now is tapping on my leg to like songs. Honestly, I've not been drumming for a long time. I'd love to get back into it, but I was telling you earlier, like I'd also love to learn the piano properly. Like I can play a few chords, but I'd love to actually go for it. I'd love to learn different instruments beyond just guitar, because I think it's so good to have a wide range of skills, especially now. Like everyone can do everything, so
yeah, but like everything, you don't have to do everything. I mean, I was kind of like a music guy myself. Like when I was like 13, 12, I used to play the bass guitar. I only knew a few songs, but I can't play them now because like it's been like 5-7 years, literally forgoing about everything. But I was interested in music at a point, just because like it was something cool like you could do during your leisure time in school, because I stayed in a boarding school, so you didn't really have that many fun stuff to do. But would I play the bass guitar? No. Now, definitely not. Like, it's not something I enjoy. Like, now man's all into the whole film kind of thing, like the podcast kind of thing. So everything there is basically what I've grown into. I mean, I went from music. I'm still really interested in music. Aside from like listening to music, I'm into how the whole music is created, like how people actually stay and make that music, how it's produced and whatnot, like the background features that people don't actually know about. I'm really interested in that. But then how I can add that to my film work is what's got me ticking right now.
Right.
So with your music now, like everything's kind of had a backstory, but you were into YouTube before,
right? Yeah.
So you've kind of transitioned from YouTube to music. How did you do that? How did you manage to let go of YouTube and go into music?
Yeah, so essentially I made YouTube videos when I got bored at school.
What about?
So I was it's like looking back now, it's like some of the cringiest stuff that I could imagine. Like it's like typical generic YouTuber challenges, like how much food can I eat in front of the video? Like I would never ever do that kind of thing now, right?
Yeah.
But at the time, I've got no regrets though, because it's what helped so much of this. Like I met so many people doing that, just messing about in front of camera. I met so many people doing that who I'm still friends with now, so I'm grateful for it. But yeah, I met a girl, a very lovely girl, and I kind of realized that I didn't, in my head, I think maybe I was quite naive at the time, but I thought nothing else mattered. Like I didn't want to do YouTube anymore. I didn't even go into college much, like to study film.
Yeah.
I didn't do the things that I needed or wanted to do because I was so hung up on this person for a long period of time. And I guess the emotional side of that took its toll, and eventually I started putting those emotions into music. So it wasn't anymore, like it wasn't about, oh, what challenge video can I do this Sunday? There was no emotion to that. There was no attachment for me to that. So I was like, what can I do? And I'd written a few songs. I've written a few songs about my mum and about just silly little things that meant, like, I mean, my mum, they were like quite deep songs, but like other things, I just sort of tested the water. But then I posted a video of me doing some music to my YouTube channel, which was very different for the viewers to see at the time. And it was really well received. And looking back at that now, like I was terrible. Like I sounded so badly. So the amount of people that said I sounded good, I've got to see what their reactions are to the song that's going to come.
That's the song that's coming out now.
Yeah, because I think they're going to be like, oh, he's got better. Well, I hope they are. And if they're not, then something's wrong.
No, because I'm looking forward to it, because like, I haven't actually like heard the song. I've not actually heard you sing before. And like for you, one of you mans I don't know, like obviously like Rufus has a song that's coming out in October, like this October 16th. What's the name of the song actually?
Capital City.
Capital City.
Yeah.
Like that's already got my interest, because I hardly ever hear songs like that, like with such a name, Capital City. Yeah. So I was gonna go into your music, but I was just gonna dive into your previous like YouTube videos. You said like how much food you can eat, or how challenges.
Yeah,
like what kind of challenges did you ever try?
So I used to like the idea of pranks, right?
Oh, everybody did
Right.
pranks, man.
So growing up, and all of this now is so anti-me. Like I used to waste so many materials on pranks that I'm like, I don't need to do that to the world anymore, right? But I did this one prank where I went to my friend's house in Devon, right? Her name's Jasmine, and her sister went out for the day.
Yeah.
So I said to Jasmine, right, let's go to Tesco's or wherever he went, and let's get as much cling film as we can.
Okay.
And cling film, like wrap everything in her room with cling film, like everything.
Wow.
And I'm talking like even the makeup in the bags, like individually wrapped everything
in cling film.
Right. Yeah, it was like that.
Oh my.
Even
goodness.
like we even went to the toilet and cling film like the seat. Like it was quite brutal. And she, bearing in mind, I was like 17 at the time.
You're 17, bro. Like that's evil, man.
Yeah, and she was younger, so she was like maybe 14 or 15. Oh, wow. So it was quite bad. She took it so well, and I'm probably making it sound like it was some savage prank. Like it wasn't. Like it was.
It wasn't
it
that
was
savage,
but
like.
It was creative. It wasn't like a classic.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was fun to do. I used to really enjoy doing that. Just silly little videos, but I can't see myself getting back into it. Like there's got to be more of a purpose to a video now if I was to start making.
But you think it's more of like the things you did before that kind of like pushes you forward to doing more things? Because like if you did not have a foundation, like, and you just wanted to jump in. I mean, you're like, you tell yourself, oh yeah, I can sing, like, but how are you going to share, like, how are you going to get your music across? You would have had to go through a long process,
right.
like a long process of probably learning how to do it on YouTube, or I mean, it doesn't take long to learn, but it's still a long process to actually go with. And I think with like the small things you did with your previous YouTube channel, it kind of gave you this platform to kind of start up with everything else. You kind of want to learn how to use other pieces of equipment or other forms of social media or whatever, and it kind of gives you the opportunity to learn, man. It gives you the opportunity to learn about what you don't know. So you're now more open-minded to other things. But like with the pranks, I don't think I'd ever want to prank someone. Like, I mean, prank someone and put it online. I could prank someone now, but I wouldn't want to prank it and put it on YouTube. Then it's just gonna be like, Robert, how you gonna do that to your own man? So it's like, no, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, man.
But have you ever tried taking your music to like bars or stand-up places? Like,
yeah, so my first ever live musical experience, so I was with my two friends. We were like 14, and this is again way before I even ever considered music. And we posted a little cover onto Facebook, and we said if we get, it was like 67 likes, we'll form a band or something like that.
Okay.
And then it was like on Facebook you could add these emotions, and it was like feeling precise, and we got the amount of likes, and then we called ourselves Precision because of that. Right. Trust. Yeah. So that's how it was, right? So we did this live performance at this
yeah, you're kind of shocked in it, Precision.
Yeah, honestly.
No, your face.
I was just like precision, and it's not a bad name. Yeah,
It's an awful name. You gotta be honest. Come on. But hey, it was a start, right?
Yeah.
And we go to this bar, and my dad had never ever heard me sing before, and I sing, and again, looking back, probably terrible. My voice hadn't even broken then. 14, that's quite late. And he was shocked. He was like, "Oh wow, that's pretty good." And then we had another gig, and I got too scared to play, but I still turned up to I was so nervous, man.
Stage fright.
Yeah, honestly, so nervous. And this is in front of like maybe 50 people in this girl's garden, and I was so nervous. And my brother had just performed as well, and I felt so embarrassed after that, because I was like, I fully felt anxious, and it was such a weird feeling. So then I didn't do any music for ages, and then it's only really been in the last few months that I've plucked up the courage to be like, right, I need to actually get myself out there a bit and perform. It's been so hard in lockdown and stuff. There's places I want to go. I did some vegan food festivals, right? One of them I played to like 6 whole people. But I'm hoping that one day I can look back and be like, well, I played in front of 6 people here, and now look. And I know that's quite a big ambition, but
no, man,
if I can have 6 people listen to my music, then that's 6 people more than I was having before I plucked up the courage to do that, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So yeah, like the tiniest bit, but that will, you know, if we speak again in say 6 months down the line, that will be more. So yeah, it's that one's coming with time.
No, it's always good. It's always good to be ambitious. Just always having a goal you set for yourself. So like, if you played for 6 people in a garden, I'm not gonna jump so high as to say like, oh, before you know it, like shit, you're gonna be playing in front of 6,000 people at O2 or something. I mean, that's there, but like, from there you can be playing at a bar. You can be playing at probably like how, you know how they do stand-up comedy, like you come out and you're obviously like, you're telling your jokes.
Yeah,
if you're not funny to these people, like you're basically nothing. You're there and they're ready to eat you alive.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when you come in with music. You come in with your own song or something you want to perform, and you're performing, and these guys just notice when you're nervous. Like, they can just tell that, oh, this guy's nervous.
Right.
But then sometimes the reception is really good, and when the reception is good, you kind of allow it to flow. But then what happens when the reception is bad? You're just gonna stop and put your guitar back in the case and walk off the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, everything is based on how you take it. If you're getting a bad reception, would you stop playing because they're booing you? If they're booing you and then maybe 2 or 5 other people are clapping for you, you might as well continue playing. You might as well continue playing, because those 5 people are still interested in what you do, and they would obviously speak of you a lot more. Like, oh, I saw this guy playing and he was really good. Like, I love how he played with his guitar. He has a nice voice. This. Raw, they're literally all over you. They're gonna bring more people to come listen to you.
It's a good point you make, because me and my dad always talk about that, because he used to be in like a comedy club, and when they had a joke and it was like tumbleweed and no one laughed, and then someone would start heckling and just giving them like such a hard time. And it's so true, and this is how I felt, and I think this is why you've always got to be your biggest supporter, no matter how many people, because when you're playing to 6 people, the likelihood is they're probably not there for you, right? I had 2 of my friends that came, and that was really sweet of them to do that. But more often than not, if you're playing to that many people, they're not there for you. They're there for the event that you're at. They're maybe there to support. I don't know. They're not there for you, right? And then you say 6,000 people. Well, chances are they're there for you. So the only person that's going to be there for you out of those 6 people, there's one person, right, that's going to be there for you, whether you're in front of 6 people or 6,000 people, and that's yourself. So you've got to support yourself. So if you're playing to 6 people and 5 of them hate it, it doesn't matter, because you love it and you love doing it. And yeah, I think what you said is so true, and I fully agree with that. So yeah.
Oh, blessed for that. Have you ever been at this lowest position where you feel like your music isn't good enough?
Yeah, oh man, like, I think if people that really know me, maybe it doesn't come across when I'm posting about music a lot and I'm like, oh look, I've got this. I'm not really, I sometimes feel guilty even, which is strange, sharing with the world, that's a brave thing to say. I've got like 1,000 followers.
Keep going, man.
But yeah, I feel guilty sometimes, because I'm like, I've been doing this for 3 years. I know people who've been doing this since they were like 3 years old. I'm sometimes like, why do I have the right to do this? But then again, it's obviously nothing. I think again, I'm like, it's nothing to do with that, right? Everyone has their own journeys and whatever. You can't compare yourself. But yeah, 100%. I've definitely got a few confidence issues with music, purely because it's never been the main thing that I've wanted to do until the last few years, right? So it's like, I could say that I'm very good in other things in life, but I've rarely ever said that I'm very good with music. But I aspire to be. But I think what I aspire more with music is how I can make people feel with telling stories in songs, right? And that will probably come across less in the next few releases, because it's a less intimate project than the projects that I want to bring out in the future.
Okay.
But that's what I want to do with music. I want to tell a story. I want to tell my emotions. That's quite cliche, but I don't strive to be the most perfect singer, the most perfect guitar player. I want to be good, of course. I want to learn more instruments, but I want to strive for movement and change in people, and for people to be like, oh, he's just said that in his song. That's like, that resonates with me. I want people to relate. I want people to cry to my music. I want people to laugh to my music. I want people to feel emotions, because that ultimately, that's the most important thing for me. So
no man, you sound like a proper humane guy. Like, everything there has its own feel to it. That's kind of calm. I'm the kind of person that I'm more interested in particular genres, like in particular genres of music. Like in different genres, they could still pass out the same message, but because the genre is different, I might not pick it up because it's not probably like my favorite genre.
Right.
Like, well, flip. Man's into like, I'm into R&B, I'm into like Afro pop, Afrobeat, all that. I'm into like a little kind of rock, like not like heavy metal rock, but I can listen to a little rock. I'm into indie, into the blues. I listen to reggae. I listen to all different kinds of music. But like, if you would you put yourself in a genre, or would you?
I think it's far too early to say that, because this, for me, the song that I'm bringing out and the songs, they never started as the genre they are now.
Okay.
So I wanted them to be a bit indie, a little bit alternative. There's always going to be pop elements in there.
Okay.
What the boys have done, Tommy Smith Music, who the song is coming out with, and they produced the song essentially, and their artists as well. What they've done is moved it more towards, I'd say, pop music, which is such a big genre now. It is such a big genre. So within that genre of pop, with the song, there's so many other things. There's that element of indie, maybe slightly alternative. There's electro pop.
So like different bits.
Yeah, and it all comes together to make pop, which is weird. But I guess that's why it's called popular music, right?
Yeah.
I think eventually I want to not move away from it, but I've written songs that are, I'd say, rock.
Okay.
I've written songs that are alternative, indie, pop. Like, I've written different songs, which hopefully at some point I'll be able to release as my own project. But yeah, sorry, to answer your question, I think, it's far too soon to even think about genre.
Okay.
Purely because it's not even being received by anyone yet. So people might put it in their own genre and what it means to them.
Oh, so people might classify it as a different genre, or
So
someone
what
else
I
will put it
think.
in a different genre.
Right.
You have like your own kind of thinking.
Yeah.
You said Tommy
Smith Music.
Music.
Yeah, it's Harry and Harris. They are from York. They are 18. They're both 18, so they're 2 years below me, and their knowledge of music is incredible. And I couldn't have asked for two better people to learn about music with. I went to stay with them. I camped in their garden. It was for 3 nights. It was too cold for 2 of the nights, so I stayed in the studio because I'm just like that. Your face, man, that's so funny. Precision and now this. So.
Your face has to be
Bro, I can't. Imagine me being the meme. Like, if I was a meme.
I already got like a
No, I know the picture. Like, it was a picture from 2 years ago. 2 years ago? Yeah, it was a picture from 2 years ago.
The perfect meme.
It was so silly. Let me tell you about it. Like, we were in class because we were in the same foundation, and we were in English class. Now, obviously, I could speak English fluently. I was really good in English, so I never really paid too much attention. But we were having kind of like a test kind of thing, and one of our friends, her name was Kiki, and she was playing around, like throwing her hands around and stuff. And I was so ambiguous to whatever was going on. Ambiguous, is that the word? Well, it's not the word. I was ignorant. I didn't know what was going on there. So like, I wasn't paying attention. Thank you. I don't need to use big words. So I wasn't paying attention. And I looked up. And it was literally like, I'm writing on my stuff. And I raised my head up. I'm just like, and I just catch the attention. Well, I didn't really. They caught my attention, and I'm looking for 5 good seconds, looking at them, wondering what they're doing. And I didn't know Hamad was recording me. I didn't know he was recording me, and he sent it to me. He was recording them, and then he saw me, and he recorded me. Like, he literally zoomed into me as well, and he turned me into a meme. I forgot, what was that meme again? Was that when you realized something?
I forgot, but like it's the picture. It's like your reaction.
It was actually funny. If I was a meme, that would be the perfect meme for me. No, I'm not putting it in the video. I'm not putting it in the video. It's a podcast, so you don't put that level of a meme in the video.
Just your reaction.
The reaction, no. it's like it's obviously gonna be there. Like, fam, like that's the thing with having your own podcast. Like at such a low stage, you have to learn how to do everything. I mean, you could obviously pay for people to do it, but I don't have that kind of money. I mean, imagine me having to pay for a cameraman, having to pay for an editor, having to pay for a producer, having to pay for a promoter.
And you wouldn't even be able to figure things out if you were doing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have the opportunity to learn how to do all these things. Like literally everything that I do is everything that I know. I've actually learned how to move with all these particular equipment, and it gives me the opportunity to say that, yeah, I know how to do these things. I don't need you to kind of like take me for a chump and throw some price or some crazy price of me to pay you. I'll pay you like £100 or 150 to come record me. Like when I can just set my camera on my phone to record and have my audio. It's simple. Like really, okay, it might take some time to finish the editing, but like everything there I know is done to the way I like it. So if I have my reaction in a video, it's going to be there because I'm the one editing it. If I have someone else's reaction and I like it, it's going to be there because it's in the video. If there's going to be like some conflict in the video, like everybody loves conflict. Like I love conflict sometimes, not all the time. Yeah, that kind of thing. That kind of thing, yeah. And it gives the film the video a lot more depth. Like if we're having a discussion where I disagree with you, I have the opportunity to say why I disagree with you, not just them cutting it off. So it gives the viewers a lot more to actually like enjoy. But besides all of that, you see how we just jumped from memes to the flipping podcast. What did you learn from Tommy Smith's music?
A lot. So I think what you just touched upon there as well is a bit what I'm about to talk about now. When you're in a position where you can't afford X, Y, and Z people around you, you they get great. You have to learn yourself, and even if that's through other people. I always wondered about payment with these guys because I was like, it feels too good to be true. They know their stuff, man. Like they are very good artists, producers, whatever. They are very good at what they do. And they were like, well, we feel fully confident that this music is going to do well. So why should there be any payment involved? Like it's about we're gonna get out of it. And that was such a confidence boost for me. I guess one of the main things I learned from them is how well they bounce off each other so well. They're genuinely like a married couple. Like they will argue about the smallest little things, like bicker, and it's so funny to watch. Be in the room with them, it's just hilarious, right? And they've got these northern accents, and I love them to bits. But they are so spontaneous with their ideas. They'll be like, oh, I like this idea, let's plug it in. Oh nice, it doesn't work with that. Yeah, but it might work with that, let's do that, let's try that. They're like always trying things. When I did all my vocals, they were like, yeah, that's great, another take. Yeah, that's great, another take. And they're like, yeah, last one. They know full well it's not going to be the last take. They know it's going to be like 10 more takes. But they're just like their work rate is unreal. I guess I can take that from them as well. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to do really well.
Well, they sound like the great people to work with. Like they sound like great people to actually like work with, because you've seen their work rate firsthand. So now what's left for you is to pick up what you've learned. Like pick that up, apply it to your lifestyle, your work rate, and turn it into something better. Like you've seen how these people are moving. You like how these people kind of do their things. So why not improve on yourself with what you've learned from them? That's just literally the thing with it. Like I have a few friends that are into the whole film kind of thing, and they're there doing more stuff than I'm doing right now. But here's the changing thing. Here's the thing that makes everything so different. I'm not trying to be like them. I'm not trying to make a music video like my boy. I'm not trying to make a documentary like my friend or my girl or anything. I'm trying to pick up these little things from them. So it's like in a particular music video, you see something you like, you pick that off. in a documentary, you see something you like, you pick that off. The way someone uses their audio to kind of grab the attention of the viewers, just that as an example, that's the kind of thing that I like. That's the kind of thing that really catches my eye inspires me. Yeah, and makes me want to steal what you put in. Like, steal is such a strong word, but literally it is what it is. I'm picking out that thing that makes your video so iconic. I pick that out, see how I can apply it to my video or my work, and it turns it into something great. It's like everybody's a director. Yeah, everybody's a director, and they all have their individual attributes or individual skill that makes their work so unique. I'm not talking about how great it is or how bad it is, but what makes it unique.
Right. Yeah.
So if you look at it from that perspective, it makes it a lot more understandable in my sense, in my opinion, really. Because if I sat down to kind of try and understand why someone does something different, it could take me up to several hours to actually understand why flipping Steven Spielberg makes his films the way he does, or how Alfred Hitchcock could proudly say that his films will always be understandable without audio. Like, bruv, if there's a film that if I came into this living room and you're watching a movie silent, I'm not gonna understand what's going on. If I came in halfway, I'm not gonna know what's going on, if you get what I'm saying. But Alfred Hitchcock came out and said how you know a good movie is if you turn off the volume from the beginning and watch it till the end, you'll be able to understand what's going on without the audio, without the dialogue. Yeah. Because the story is so understandable, it's flowing. Like, if you see someone walk into a building, you see they're having a discussion. If the person brings out a gun, you kind of understand that, oh, it was probably like a conflict kind of thing where they kind of disagreed, or it was something planned. So it's a lot more understandable than you'd actually think.
He was like, he loved long takes though, right? So with his long takes, it has to be understandable. Yeah. And that's what I love.
Oh yeah, he did.
So you can see
yeah, that's it. But like I used to love photographic storyboarding when going into film, because I think you can take photographs and understand a storyboard. That's magical. That's so cool, because all a film is a storyboard on a screen, right?
Exactly.
It's just picture. You don't really need the caption bit. All this narrative. A film is a conversation can be a conversation between two people.
100%.
In an image. That's it. What you said about stealing is so true among all creative arts now. Everything's stolen. Film came from 7 stories known to man, and all 7 stories are just in film. That's what film is, and everything's been done before. It's very, very, very rare for people to see something that's not been done before. It might be done in a very different way that you don't even realize, right? But everything's been stolen. So it's like what you say, where can you get all your inspiration from? Because that still makes it you and unique, because you like that from that, that from that, that from that. Not everyone in the world likes those specific things that you like. So your film or product is going to be very different
100%.
to everyone else's. Yet you're stealing or taking inspiration. I prefer saying taking inspiration, because stealing, like, that implies maybe that you're the only one that's done it.
Yeah, it's a strong word, actually.
I think everyone steals.
Yeah, everyone actually.
And everyone should steal. I think otherwise it would flop, because there's like a set way, a product and a design that viewers love in film, and it works. I think independent film less so, but yeah, I fully agree. And it's the same in music and everything. I have inspirations. There's chords that I've played. One of the favorite things Harry said from Tommy Smith Music, he said, you can't copyright chords. And it's so true. And I was there like, oh, but I played these chords. And it's like, you can't copyright chords, they're chords, right? Loads of chords have been played in the same way in so many songs. But why is it different to everyone else's? Because it's you, and it's your song, and it's your story, and it's... So yeah, that's really important. I think people get all in this idea of being original. What does original mean? Be yourself, but if you're being yourself, you're always going to be original. So don't worry about being original and different, and you know, just be yourself. It's so important.
Bare facts, yeah. Where do you see Rufus Barker? Where do you see Rufus Barker in 2 years? Oh no, not 2 years, 5 years.
5 years. That's a
5
very
years.
different. Because I think the answer's gonna be very different from.
Be very now. Like, this is AfroCast policy. Be honest, yeah. Obviously, do not go over the top. Like, you don't need to be. Don't be bashful. Don't be too modest. But at the same time, don't be too prideful.
Okay.
Don't kind of like. Just try not to go over the top, man. It's just an honest. It's an honest question. It's an
so you said don't be too boastful.
Answer. Yeah, don't be too boastful.
I'm gonna take over the what?
Just.
No,
it
I don't
don't
know.
work like that, man.
I think, if I'm being honest, I would love to have a fan base of some sort in that time. To me, it doesn't matter how big or small. It matters that I've potentially got consistent people who love my music.
Or if you got a fan base tomorrow, 10 people. 10
Right.
people.
I'll take that 100%. I'll take that in 5, because I think fan bases are they're supporters, right? They're there for you. When you mess up, they might be there. When you have a bad show, when you whatever, they're going to be there. So if I have 10 people in 5 years, yeah, it might not like exceed expectations or whatever, but it's 10 people that I might not have now. So I think that's so important. At the moment, my biggest supporters in music are my friends. And that makes it so like pure for me at the moment, because all the comments that I post with singing, or like if I post an Instagram story of me singing and it's like half decent, it's alright. And I get like all my friends messaging me. I'm like, that's so nice. Because you would have thought after all these YouTube challenges and all those years doing that, you would have thought they'd be bored by now. Yeah. So I really appreciate their support. So yeah, 5 years with a fan base, hopefully. Playing consistent gigs.
A few record labels.
We'll see. I think music is changing. I think record labels are massively changing. I think musicians are scared to be tied down and tied into something and signing contracts at which they don't know the full situation there. They don't know how much control they're going to have of their own lives. I know someone, well, I don't know them, but I know people that know them. I'm not going to say their name, but I know that they are a very successful musician, but they are currently locked into something by their label where they can't really do much. They can't do what they want to do.
Okay.
They want to do one style, one genre of music, but they're being told to do very different. It's very difficult when you have a big company and they're controlling you. If a deal comes in play, I think musicians get promised things, man. Like, they get promised everything and they won't get it. I think if the right people come in and say, hey, we've got this for you, and that's for in 5 years, and they're like, we got this for you, and blah blah blah. I think I want it to be morally right. But yeah, I went off on a massive tangent then. But yeah, consistent fan base and consistent gigs.
No man, no. I actually got interested with what you said, and I don't know. I like asking questions normally because like it's not like I don't know these things, but obviously you want to hear someone else's opinion on a particular thing. So what do you think? What do you think about the music industry today? Like in general, we're not gonna go into like what the management system or whatever, the artists. What do you think of the music industry as a whole today?
I think I can only go off my experience and what I listen to, because I'd be brave to go into other genres. So I think it's positive. I was speaking to, I've got a vocal coach, I guess, singing music teacher called Sabrina. She's absolutely beautiful. Like, I love her to bits. We've only had 2 lessons, but I want to keep going and get better because she's really cool. And she was saying, people don't love the perfect singer right now. They don't love perfect. They love people who are real, I guess. They love people who, a bit like what I was saying earlier, who can show. And that's what I love right now, because it's a lot of it's social media based, and it's like if you do well on social media and you can connect to people on there, then it's kind of real, and people feel like they know you. And that can be really good, because it can also be really bad. It works both ways. It's like some singers just completely lose the plot with social media, and they're like, because of that, what I just said, which can be really good, but if you get really big, then it's like invasion of privacy. People feel like you owe them your life, and they're like, well, I've heard that you've broken up with this girl, but you haven't told us, we deserve to know everything. Oh yeah. Things like that. So they feel like they have a right to your life. So it works in both ways. But I think, I think music's all right now. It's hard to say because of this coronavirus. Because like, what are gigs gonna be like after this, man? Like,
well, with gigs, it's more like, if you look at the whole social distancing kind of thing, that's really based on the government. That's like, that's not going to take away the fun from a concert. If I went to a concert, like, mind you, I've never ever gone to a concert before. I do want to, but then it's a bit too rowdy. Look at me talking, man. I've been to like bare parties and shit. I'm saying it's bare rowdy. Now it's like, will I see myself at a concert now? Now? No. Before? Probably, yeah. Why not? Go to, obviously, you want to go to like a Drake concert. You want to go to a Travis Scott concert. You want to go to any kind of concert really that just catches your eye. But if it's now, imagine them kind of like isolating people. How are you going to isolate someone at a concert where you're going to have like flipping chains, like secluding people from 2 meters? What happens to the person behind you? It's all going to be crazy. It's going to be hard for them to do that now, as to why they haven't actually done it as well. But gradually people are not as afraid of this virus as they were before. You got lots of people bare protesting about it. You got people saying there's no need to wear a mask. You got people saying you need to wear a mask. There are people saying, some people with their bare conspiracies and whatever, like, bro, as long as I'm not sick, I don't mind wearing a mask. Yeah, as long as I'm eating healthy, I don't mind isolating for a bit. Because, bro, what, January, December, it's done. Hopefully it's done.
Yeah.
I'm no flipping scientist, but like, it'll be done, and I'm sure like bare gigs will start coming out. That's the thing. Like, you have to actually search for them. You don't have a manager, right?
No.
Calm. So like, now everything is literally in your court. Like, in a sense where you have to, like, let me relate it to my stuff. Like, with my podcast, I have to find my guests. Like, literally, it was not set in stone that I was gonna get Rufus Barker on my podcast. It wasn't something done a month ago. This was literally 2 weeks ago on flipping Monday. Yeah. Monday night. Just walking, like, literally, let me just tell you much how I found this guy. Like, I was walking with my friend and she knew some of your friends. I just introduced myself. I was like, you're doing music, and it just went into a big discussion. It was just like, oh, you do music? Yeah, you should come on my podcast. Like, oh, what kind of music do you do? What's going on with this? And I just liked how you kind of explained your whole music situation, like what you're into, what you're trying to preach. I've got better people who've told me before they do music and it's calm, it's nice, but like, it doesn't catch my eye. And I don't think it's gonna catch the viewer's eye as well. Someone that is down to earth, like, all these mans are shooting for the moon, but like, they're not even on the ground yet. Like, you're still on the ground and you're setting your foundation, setting your plans, and that's what I really like in an upcoming artist.
Thank you.
That's why it's all blessed, man. That's what I really like to see in anyone that's being creative. I love creativity. Sometimes like, I could be drained. I could be so drained of my creative influence. I don't actually know what to do. But then when I find someone else being really creative, it actually gives me the opportunity to be creative myself.
Right.
So you're actually on the right track, in my opinion. Like, I would honestly still say hop on YouTube. Like, turn that into a platform you can use. It doesn't have to be the main platform, but it's the second platform. You got Spotify, then you got YouTube. You probably bring up your old YouTube channel and make it like a proper music channel.
Yeah.
And then kind of, you can still be doing challenges. You can be doing covers. You can be doing different things, and you're promoting yourself. People are gonna see it and then be like, oh yeah, this guy's like a really good singer. Like, everyone's gonna be onto that kind of stuff. And then you have two different platforms. Oh, once they find out that you're on YouTube, they're gonna be like, oh, does he have a Spotify? From there, everything's just set in stone.
It's true. I think the like duo, like having different social media platforms is so good to do and have right now, because everyone's always like, yeah, as you say, like, oh, he's got YouTube. Has he got this though? Has he got this?
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm using Instagram as my main promotion thing, but Instagram is so visual. It's not like to the ear. YouTube's obviously probably better for that, but I want to be. I've just said earlier, don't strive for originality, and I'm just about to say I want to be original, but I want to do something that's slightly different that I've never done before. Okay. So mixing music and my personality. How can I be real? How can I give off a feeling in a video, even if I'm sitting down and talking? But I don't just want to talk about music. Like, I want to do music. I want to play music. I want to sing in my videos, but be myself too. And it's like finding that middle ground that I guess I'm struggling with a little bit. But no, I think you're right. And I think at some point I will sort of get my stuff together, like get a proper plan together and sort that out. But yeah, for sure, man.
No, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, like, with the YouTube thing, yeah, because you're more, it's more music. Spotify or like any audio platform is always a good thing. Like, I got lots of people telling me Spotify is one of the best places to put my podcast on, because like, not everyone likes a video podcast. But like, in all honesty, my main reason for actually having a video podcast is solely because I want to be able to work with film. I want to be able to work with video. I want to be able to work with the camera and all that. So I would definitely go with that 100%. Will I come out with audio podcasts in the future? Yeah. Why? Because they're easier. I mean, like, bruv, I just need to record someone's voice and it's done. But like, sometimes you just love the visuals. Like,
but you're a film man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I think, in my opinion, that's why podcasts are a big thing now, because you can view them.
Yeah. Before it was just like audio, it's like listening to the radio. But now you can actually do it on video, and people still appreciate the audio. But then when you see the video, and it's like, raw, this guy is bare into his flipping podcast stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna watch him a bit more.
Complete the picture in your head, because you can see the reaction, how they look and everything.
Honestly, so it's always interesting to be able to add that extra, to go the extra mile with that whole thing. With this whole podcast, if I was to look at this podcast in the next 5 years, I'm not just saying it on a positive note or whatever, I would want this podcast to go far. I do want this podcast to go far, and it is actually reaching out to different people. It's reaching out to different people. I don't need it to go super fast and get like 100 people in a week or like 1,000 in a month. That would be lovely. I mean, like, do your job,
do your thing. Yeah.
So it's that. Honestly, there's that. But like, I'm really just enjoying the movement. I'm enjoying the scenery. Like, literally, you go to a park with beautiful flowers, you enjoy the scenery. You're not just thinking of, oh, how I'm gonna come here tomorrow. But you're thinking, let me enjoy where I'm at.
There's a quote, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't really know the quote, but I'm gonna try and remember the quote.
Yeah. I mean, you already got us into it. You might as well just remember the quote, man. You can't
remember the quote.
Man,
can't
it's
hack like
it.
you something like, don't get so fixated on the destination, because then you'll never enjoy the journey, right?
Okay.
And I see that as like, what you just said. Don't worry if you're going to the park. Enjoy it. Enjoy going to the park. Enjoy being in the moment. And my brother always tells me this. Enjoy being every moment that you have in life. Enjoy it. Because you might not ever get that again. And that's a deeper way of looking at it. But also, if you're enjoying every single moment, you're then very well practiced at being in every single moment. So you know what's going on, right? So I think that's really important. But also on a mountain, there's rocks. You're going to trip over. You can still enjoy the journey by tripping over and getting back up on your feet. But you won't even enjoy tripping over. You won't even learn to understand the fall and the getting back up if you're just focused on the destination. You've always got to lift yourself back up and enjoy being in that moment and enjoy that experience. It's so true. I love what you say about the numbers there, because so many people, their instant goal with anything like this is how many numbers can I get on this?
Yeah, what the numbers say.
Right, what are the views, what are the streams, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Did you have a good time?
Did you actually enjoy it?
Did you enjoy it? Or when you were talking, were you thinking, this is going to get so many views? Or what, how does your head think? And if you enjoy every single moment, then you subconsciously, you're training your brain to enjoy that moment and not worry about what comes after. Because that will happen. Inevitably, that will happen. You can enjoy that whilst when you post the video, maybe worry about it a bit then. Don't worry, but think about it then. But whilst you're every moment, just enjoy it. That's what I say. So,
no, blessed for that, man. You're 100% right. Wow. No, this has been a proper conversation. The thing with these conversations, is that sometimes you kind of know when you're reaching the end, in a sense, and you don't want this to end, but you're trying to think of something, but your brain's just so racked up.
Right.
Because, literally, before we even started recording, we want to ask a question, but then we stop. It's like, oh shit, this would be actually good for the video. Like, let's keep it down to the video. And now I can't even remember the flipping thing I was going to ask. Really, have you ever tried SoundCloud before?
Not really, no. My brothers all my family use it, and a few of my music friends use it. And last night was the first time I seriously considered putting demos and stuff on there.
What do you think about it? What do you think about SoundCloud?
As an app, or
just like as a platform for young artists?
I think it's great. I think it's really, really good. Yeah, 100% support that. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't. In a sense, I don't like how it's turned into a name. Like you got some rappers on SoundCloud. It's like, where's your music? It's on SoundCloud. So you're a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
From there, like everyone just loses interest.
Yeah.
Because some SoundCloud rappers or SoundCloud artists, some of them aren't really good. I mean, some people that have SoundCloud accounts can put any kind of music on SoundCloud, but when you're when you're saying like originally you put your music on SoundCloud, I think is it possible to record on SoundCloud, or is it just a? And I don't think you can record on SoundCloud, but some of the songs I've heard, have got the wackest beats. These beats are so. I'm not calling them wet, but they're bad, bad beats. And like when someone says they're on SoundCloud, it kind of just lowers the other person's interest, because they see SoundCloud as such a free, cheap place for people to put their music on.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's a lovely place for young artists to actually start working on, because they have the opportunity to put their music there. Obviously, people are going to see it, and if your music is good, it's going to move. If it's not good, you just have to keep trying, because if you stop because one person said it's bad, like I'm not gonna lie, like I will tell you when something is bad. I will tell you when the music could have been better, but still, all in all, like sometimes the beats are just terrible.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can't really go with it. But SoundCloud is really a lovely app. If I was going into music, right now, would I put stuff on SoundCloud? Not all the time. I would actually stick to Spotify more, because Spotify is a much bigger platform. SoundCloud is still good, but with Spotify, you're literally able to put like a short biography of yourself. You're literally able to. It keeps track of your monthly listeners. it literally has this app, SoundCloud, Spotify for artists.
Yeah.
So you have, you know, you have that.
Yeah.
So like literally, you're able to see how it's going. Once you have your music, you're able. Once you have your music there, you're able to see how it's going. You're able to see the numbers. Obviously,
where it's played in different countries and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's played most and stuff like that. So I kind of like how Spotify is going with it. SoundCloud is not bad, but Spotify is the new now. I'm not gonna lie, it's the new.
Thank you, SoundCloud, for sponsoring this video.
Please no, like, bro. Like, copyright is one of the things I have not been able to avoid.
Really?
Like, that's the thing with not having original music.
Yeah,
not having original music. Like, you could get like some non-copyright music, but there's always that one thing, that one name that causes it to get claimed. So that's the stress. Like right now, man's not even thinking about the money, like the money I could get from it. Once I know I can get like a few original songs that will not be copyrighted, I start using it.
Message me, man. We'll sort that out. Although I don't think my music, I don't know if my music will suit this kind of.
Well,
what kind of thing are you going for?
I'm a kind of guy that loves instrumentals. I've always loved beats, instrumentals, silent music without lyrics. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, if you have on Spotify, there's a playlist. Like, check this out, lo-fi beats. That's the kind of thing I'm into. Like, when I want to have a chill conversation, that's the kind of thing I want playing in my background. I'm not gonna play. I'm thinking, should I always have music in my background during the podcast? Definitely yes, because you have a low toned level of music being played in the background. That's actually quite interesting. You have your conversation and it's wholesome. I always love wholesome stuff. So I've got a guy that got music, he got you. I'm down with it, man.
My friend Jack, I went to school with him. He's incredible at making beats and stuff.
Link him
up. Like incredible. And he sings as well, and he does it all. He's smashing it. Yeah, he's doing really well.
Okay, that's calm though, but I think we're gonna end it right here. It's always lovely to have a new person. It's always lovely. It's lovely to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
You're welcome, bro. Like, really, because it was something we planned before, and it was just what was on my mind. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna restart this podcast back in school, but I need to have Rufus on the podcast. Like, I like what you're about. I like what you're going for. Really, I just say keep going for it, because like nothing ever comes easy, man. Like, I think did I tell you about Sylvester Stallone? Yeah, I told you about like one of his quotes. Like, literally, it's not about how hard you hit, but it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, isn't it? Because like sometimes you're gonna fall down. Like most times than others, you're gonna fall. And when you fall, yeah, that's at that point where you're at your lowest point and you're not sure if you want to stand back up, but you just have to stand back up, because when you stand back up, it's always better. You always move a lot better, and you see that you've actually progressed a lot more. That's kind of the thing with this podcast. Everything there is always a step forward, one step at a time. You move from the lights to the microphone to the person standing, sitting in front of the microphone. Everything has been a step. Just one step after the other. Sometimes you trip and you fall, but like, I have to get up because I'm not doing it for anyone else but myself. I love what I'm doing.
Thanks,
I love the whole thing. I love what you're doing, and really it's the thing about creative people that just catches my eye. So with that, I'll call it a day. Obviously, like, let's know your Instagram.
It's my Instagram is Rufus the Barker. Bit of a sus username there, but
Rufus the Barker. I don't think that's sus.
Yeah, because it's like Rufus the Barker, like a dog. Rufus is a dog's name, right?
So you're a dog.
Then the Barker.
So you're saying like, so what? You move like a dog?
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah. Man's done. Done out here,
we're
bro.
done. And yeah.
Well, you know what it is, people.
That's a link below. I should have just said that, link below.
You just should have, you could have just said link below. You should have just said Rufus the Barker and left it the way it was. But you know what it is, man? This has been AfroCast. I don't really think it's Afro Nation in isolation anymore, because like, we're no longer in proper isolation, but it's still AfroCast. AfroCast all the time. Thank you, Rufus, for being on the podcast. Thank
Thank you
you
for having me.
for our off-camera man. We got Hamad actually over here. Man's just chilling a bit. You're not gonna see him though, but you might see him in the next episode. This has been AfroCast. This is episode 8, so keep in touch for episode 9. Hopefully, we're gonna have more people. We're looking to keep the location the same, because like if you've noticed, we've moved from location to location. But this has been really lovely. Like I kind of like it here, man. Like I might even move in with you. Shit.
No thanks.
So yeah, this has been AfroCast. Thanks for watching. Why don't you like, subscribe? Obviously, Rufus's stuff is gonna be put in the link below. It's been crazy. I actually don't know why am I still talking, man. God bless you. Safe. AfroCast. Wagwan.